We get no agenda for tonight.
Didn't either, but we'll, we can hear you just fine.
It was
Okay.
sent to you by email.
Email. Hey, Miss Kohler, which,
I'm going to take a picture and send it by text in a minute if you want me to.
Miss Kohler,
Yes.
can you check, see which email you're sending mine to? Because I've had problems on the gov one. Can you send mine to Gary Bailey from here on out, 2010?
I've just been sending it by the county mail since we all had to, clear our mail.
Yeah, but I'm having problems here and there getting that. And send it to Gary Bailey, 2010 at gmail.com.
Can you get it now?
Not on this one, because I haven't, the school one, I mean, the government.
No, I mean, can you get your email right now?
Yes. If you send it, I can get it.
I'll send it that way you and Mr.
Yeah.
Levin can have a copy. I'm sorry, I didn't realize you didn't get it.
For some odd reason, it started cutting out. I don't know if it's a security I've got set or what, but
Mine is probably on my
yeah.
computer. And I
So it's
looked
just
at it.
Gary Bailey 2010 at gmail.com.
Okay, I'll see if I can get it sent.
Hello, Miss Leah Ward.
Hi, Mark.
Okay, I sent it. Hopefully it will go.
We'll get it right here in a second.
Okay.
There it is. Now, let me download it real quick. It's on Word. All right, here's the landfill. All right. Election chair, vice chair, secretary, old business, tipping fee, revisit bids for material recycling. Okay, let me write that down.
Put you as secretary over business the other night.
Yeah, so that was rough.
I reckon we nominated you today.
You did. I resigned.
I don't know who the secretary was.
I have 6 o'clock. Layla, do you want to go first tonight or you want me to go ahead?
Oh, if you want to go ahead, that's fine. I don't care. It's up to you.
All right, well, I'll just go ahead then. I'll call the meeting of the landfill committee in order. I'm looking to see who all's on here. I don't think Gwen is on here, but I'm sure she'll listen to the recording. Let me see if I can look at my list here from my emails. Gary Bailey,
Here.
Mark Blevins,
Here.
Layla Ward,
Here,
Nancy Brown,
here.
Jerry Prophet. Jerry's absent. Mark Tester.
He's here. I can see him.
Here, I'm sorry, Miss Sandra, I was trying to get unmuted.
It's all right, no problem. Kelly Collins, I see Kelly.
Here.
I guess myself, and that should be it. We're missing Jerry Prophet. Did we miss anybody else? Welcome to the new members, Mark Tester and Kelly Collins. So I'll
Thank you,
call
Miss.
the meeting to order, and we just called the roll. So the next item is to approve the agenda. And I hope everyone got the agenda. I just found out Gary didn't, but he has a copy of it now.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
Motion to approve by Mark Blevins, second by Layla Ward. Is that correct?
Yes.
All in favor, say aye. Okay. Next is the acceptance of the last month's minutes.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mark Blevins to approve. Do I have a second?
Second by Nancy Brown.
Second by Nancy Brown. Any corrections or comments about the minutes? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, like sign.
I'll abstain.
Okay, abstain from Kelly Collins. Next is public comments. I don't see any. I see John Thompson and Benny. I don't see anybody else. Am I missing anybody that's in the public that would like to speak? Seeing none, the next item on business is elections of officers for the committee. At this time, I'll take nominations for chair.
I'd like to nominate Gary Bailey for chair.
Gary Bailey has been nominated for chair.
I'll nominate Sonja Color.
Kelly nominates Sandra Color. Do we have any other nominations?
Motion to cease nominations.
Motion by Mark Blevins to cease nominations. Do I have a second?
I'll
Second by
second it.
Nancy Brown.
Nancy Brown, second. All in favor to cease
Sorry, Mom.
nominations, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Okay. So the Gary Bailey or Sandra Color for chair. When I call your name, hope I can get this right. Say who you want to be chair. Mark Blevins,
Gary Bailey.
Gary Bailey,
I'll try it, me, Gary.
Layla Ward,
Bailey,
Nancy Brown,
Haley,
Jerry Prophet is absent, Mark Tester,
Gary Bailey.
Kerry Collins,
Color.
and Color, and I'll vote for myself, but that gives 5-7. So Gary, you're the chair. I'll turn it over to you. Congratulations.
Okay, we'll try it. All right, then I guess now we'll take nominations for vice chair.
I nominate Sonia Colors.
Okay, it's Nancy Brown, Sonja Color.
I nominate Mark Tester.
Do we hear any others? Cease nomination. All right. We have Sonja Color and Mark Tester. So I guess we'll call the roll. Nancy Brown.
Sonia Color.
Okay, Jerry Prophet's absent. Mark Tester.
Mark Tester.
All right. Kelly Collins.
Color.
Layla Ward.
Color,
Mark Blevins.
Tester.
Sonja Color.
Color,
And Gary Bailey, that's me. I'm gonna say Mark Tester, but it's 4-3. So if you don't meet 5, does that mean is that it? Is it still 4-3? Is that how that'll go?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess Ms. Color, congratulations, you're vice chair.
thank you.
Congratulations, Miss Color.
Congratulations.
Yep. You too. Congratulations. All right. Secretary, we'll take nominations.
I nominate Leah Ward.
Anybody else for secretary?
I'm happy to do it.
Thank you.
Acclamation.
Yeah.
So everybody say aye put her in for acclamation.
Aye.
Aye.
All right, congratulations, Layla. All right, I guess on this, we had the old business, which was the tipping fee revisit. And under that, I think it was the fact of whether we had to raise the rates and basically the TARP, if I'm correct. And we voted in the last committee meeting, the full committee, for us to basically send this back to Brad Burke for a study. Anybody object to that or anything not right on that? I mean, anybody got anything to say on it then? Floor is
Benny, have
open.
you heard from Mr. Burke?
I have not on the actual numbers. I do know that Mr. Burke has been sent the list of the folks that work the demolition site versus the transfer station, the types and numbers of trucks we have at the transfer station. So he is working on compiling numbers to make sure that we operate in the black.
So you'd sit and say then, that you think he is starting to get something together where he can give us a report and look at it?
Yes, sir. I talked to him the other day. He said that they was getting some help in their office, I think this week. So he would start being able to free some time up to start working on that.
I really think that we need that study. That's something we really need before we go any further.
Anybody else got anything else to say on that one? Okay. The second part was the bids for materials for the addition at the recycle center.
Mr. Bailey, we're still waiting on the building and grounds.
Okay.
They actually took over that project to get bids on that. I have met with Austin James and Miss Ginger Holdren on site.
Okay.
So it's in their hands now.
And Ginger, G-I-N-G-E-R, Holder, H-U-L-D. All right. So they are familiar with what's going on and they're aware of it.
Yes, sir.
All right. Anybody else comments on that? What we've got going forward? Under new business, we have the plastic recycle update. Anything on that about where we had that down there? You said that it was down because you couldn't bale it. You had to pick the cardboard or the plastic. So any update on that?
Right now, we can't keep up with the cardboard that's coming in. It's coming in way faster than what we can bale it. So plastic will be put on the side burner until we can figure out a means to take care of the cardboard.
How's the prices going, Benny?
The cardboard is still somewhere in the neighborhood of $60 a ton.
Uh-huh.
And your plastic is still right around a penny a pound.
Okay.
That's
So,
a no-brainer.
Wow.
Yeah, it's low.
Very low.
Benny, are you starting to get overrun with plastic though? I mean, at some point, are we going to have to move it out of the way or caution you that it's in the way?
We're not taking it right now, Gary. So right now we really don't have any plastic dealings down at the site. We're using 2 full bays plus the unloading section of the building for cardboard. And we're also doing mixed paper in 1 bay. So with waste management brings in 2 to 3 trucks a day on us, and which is good, clean cardboard. Never complain about it because it's good stuff to make money with for our department.
Well, keep up the good work on that part. I mean, if you can make it on the cardboard and you can make it, that's how we got to get out of this mess. So anybody else got anything on the plastic recycle?
Chairman, if you haven't been by, I advise you to go down and take a look. The place is covered with cardboard.
Well, maybe we need to push buildings and grounds, get them a building real quick.
For sure.
I'll try to go down there tomorrow at lunch. So, all right, on the baler quote, I think you sent something in about that, a price on the baler, because honestly, if the cardboard's going to keep coming, you're going to need a second baler somehow, some way.
Yeah, I did get some price quotes on the baler. It's fairly expensive, as I told you once, before we got into this. Total price without the installation is $373,895.48.
If I may interrupt, I don't think you got all of the quote. I tried to send it out, but you hadn't gotten all of it. So I apologize for that.
Is that a new one or is that a used one, Benny?
That's brand spanking new.
Yeah, it gives us a start somewhere to look at, because I mean, we've got to get you something in there. I mean, right now, cardboard's where you're making the money to pull this off, and if you don't have it, well, how do we expect you to pull it off? You ain't got nothing to pull it off with.
Chairman, can we have that price again, please?
Hold on just a second. I'll give it to you, ma'am. The baler, and what this is actually a baler and a conveyor. It's a 2-unit process. The baler alone is $189,782.40. The conveyor is $170,111.04. Then you got photo cells, hopper extension for baler. It all comes up to $373,895.48. And then the installation fee is just a tad under 30,000. It is let me get it pulled up here. It's $29,500 for the installation fee. Now, what
Wow.
that does not include, we still have to have the pit ready for the conveyor to go in. So we would have to be cutting the concrete out for them to set the conveyor in.
Benny, let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
The baler right now is when you really make your money as far as cardboard, when it's up to where it's at. Am I correct?
Well, actually, we're not making as good as money as we have before. Cardboard has been up in the neighborhood of $200 a ton. It's actually down right now at the $60 mark. And I don't know what it's going to be for October. The sheet don't come out till tomorrow. It comes out on the 6th. But
Okay.
we're actually down as far as price is right now, but volume is way more than it's ever been coming through the recycle center.
Benny, why do you think the volume's up so high?
Well, when the recycle center closed down over in Kingsport, Tri-Cities Waste Paper, they used to take all of Waste Management's cardboard. So now there's not another show in town pretty much that has a baler. Us and Johnson City does it, and Johnson City does so much they wouldn't want to take on Waste Management. So with us taking on Waste Management is why our volume is out the door now.
Benny, is that volume, do you think that's permanent?
Oh yeah.
I mean, if they shut down, is this going to be an everyday thing?
I see it permanent. Coming in, they actually have the city of Bristol, Unicoi County, and also we're taking cardboard. We're doing all of Johnson County's recycling as far as going and picking up their tubs and bringing them down. They run their own center up there, but we go pick up the tubs and bring them down to our recycle. So we really increased our volume in the last year, probably 3 to 4 times.
Chairman, if I may, I'd like to make a motion.
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to make a motion that we take the request to the budget committee for $3,395. I think that's, let me see if I've got that right. Benny, am I correct on 373 and then 30,000 more for the installation?
Yes, ma'am. And guys, let me explain something to you a little bit about this new baler. This baler is an auto tie baler. That means the baler never has to stop like we do now. Right now, when you get a bale, you have to stop, shut the baler down to hand tie it off. You run the wires by hand and hand tie it off. With the new baler, it auto ties as it packs and comes out the door.
So that total would be $403,395.48. And I'd like to request that we take that to the budget committee and ask if we can have some of the governor's money for that baler, because this is really necessity for what he's doing down there.
Okay, we have a request from Ms. Kohler to send $403,000 some dollars to budget for request out of the governor's money. Do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
And we have a second by Layla Ward. So, all right, you want to do a roll call? Let's do a roll call. Mark Tester,
Aye.
Layla Ward. Let me make sure Mark Tester, Layla Ward. Mark Blevins. Okay. Nancy Brown.
Aye.
Jerry Prophet isn't here. Kelly Collins.
Aye.
Gary Bailey, I'm an aye. Sonja Kohler.
Aye.
All right. 7-0, which Jerry Prophet ain't here to send this to budget. See if we can get some
Gary,
together.
I will make sure you get the first part of that quote so you can take it to the budget, okay?
That sounds great, Miss Kohler.
All right.
I am
Mr.
honestly,
Bailey,
yes,
could I say something real quick?
yes, sir.
Guys, I would like to say I really appreciate you and standing behind me on this. This makes my job a lot easier when I've got a board that stands behind me and tries to help me out. I can assure you that.
Manny, I'd like to say something. We will support you, but we've got to make money to be able to run this thing. And I understand that if the cardboard's coming, it's sitting there, we're losing money. So, I mean, we're kind of, it's a win for both sides, but we've got to get it out the door. And so get it out the door, you got to have a baler. So, I mean, we will support you.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I have a question for Mr. Benny. Benny, how many tons per month of cardboard are we processing? Last month, how many tons did you bale and was able to sell?
Sir, let me give it to you this way. We're sending out an average of 3 trailers a week at 41,000 pounds per trailer. So that's 120,000 pounds per week. Somewhere in the neighborhood of, what'd that be, 60 tons a week?
Yep. Okay, 60 tons a
When we
week.
get off this, I got a question.
Okay.
Oh,
It's $3,600 a week.
yeah.
So if you had another baler that, will it go faster than this one, or is that basically about the same speed, the speed of a new one, if it was to go through? How
Well,
much more
the
will
thing
it
with this
process?
auto tie is the auto tie actually speeds up the process to where you don't have to run 5 wires through the baler by hand.
Right.
So it speeds up the process tremendously.
So instead of doing $3,600 a week, you can do $7,200. Okay.
As long as we got the product coming in, yes, sir.
Benny, do you have the employees to do that though?
Well, with the auto tie baler, yes, ma'am. Basically, you have to have a guy on the baler full time now. So, and then pretty much you just feed it with the Bobcat and it ties itself instead of having to shut down to pull the guy around the baler and then the trustees to hand tie this. So yes, ma'am, we do have the employees in there now to run it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anything else? Anybody else got any comments or anything with this?
Benny,
Yes, sir.
how much do you think that this new baler, how much do you think you would be able to process a month realistically? I'm not asking, I'll just kind of get a projection on how long it was going to take to pay for it. You know what
Yes.
I mean? I mean, to break even.
I think we're going to be able to do somewhere in the neighborhood, Mr. Tester, of probably 20, 25 bales a day,
God,
as long as we have the product coming in. We're doing around 13 to 14 bales a day right now.
Okay. You're doing 13 to 14 now.
Yes,
So,
sir.
Okay. All right. And those bales weigh average what?
It just depends. And sometimes you'll get heavier bales, but we're in a neighborhood of 15 to 2,100 pounds.
Okay.
So basically each bale is a ton. That's what you're basically
Real
just
close
figuring.
to it. I mean, they're within a couple hundred pounds of, being a ton.
Right.
And with the new baler, I'd say you will produce 2,000-pound bales easily. And that all depends on too the density of your cardboard. Because the baler we're using right now, like I say, it's an early 90s model, so it's got some wire on the guides and so on. So a new baler will actually pack these bales tighter to put more weight into the bales itself as we process them.
Guys, I'll have to sit and say one thing. All of us have sat and said, basically, we wanted to price and look at a study to see how if they're making money and what they're losing money on. It comes down, you have to spend money to make money. But it's got to be realistically to spend it to make it, So if you can produce twice as much with it, I'm like Mark, if we see how long it takes for us to get our money back, but you've got to have something because right now there is no going forward without it.
Well, like I say, if you'd like to come down maybe tomorrow, if you've got a chance to come down to the recycle center, you'll see we're all the way, we constantly stay packed up all the way out to the garage door where we drop the loads at pretty much.
Okay. Anybody else got anything?
We'd just be able to stop by any time we're available to tomorrow, Benny, as long as it's open.
Honey, they'll be there from 7:30 a.m. till about 3:30 p.m. And
Thank you.
I'll be
Thanks.
out of there during the day. So just if you want to come holler at me, and I'll meet you down there. Be more than happy to.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
Benny, this is on a different subject. At the landfill, are we using the new scales and everything that we got put in? And Gary got the internet put in. Are we using that, keeping track of what's coming and going?
Beanie, did you hear that? I think we've lost him.
Hold on. So I got muted somehow. I might have hit a button. I don't know. But anyways, yes, sir. We are using that. It is the computer. It's the brains of the operation up there pretty much. When you come in, if you have 2 bags, they punch it in as 2 bags. If they weigh you, they weigh you. And the weight's kept there in the computer program.
Well, Benny, I think that we need to kind of consider maybe looking at what household waste that we're taking in a month and get a figure of that to put before the committee each month and how much money we're taking in off of the household waste and also off of the demolition site. If we had something, I think that we need something to lay before us on your report each month, and the county commission needs to have a record to where they can look at it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, that ain't no problem to do that.
So that thing will print a report. I think what he's asking is for a report each month, what's come in and what's
It'll
cleared.
print a report for demolition and transfer station operations. It'll print a report for tires we brought in. It'll print a report if we take brush. I mean, it prints a report for anything you want.
Okay, now, can we get a figure of how much money you take in once a month at the landfill?
Yeah, that's on record too, Mr. Tester. I mean, Mr. Blevins, I'm sorry.
Okay, will you entertain a motion, Mr.
Yes, sir.
Chairman? I'd like to make a motion that starting next month that we have a copy of everything that's tucked in and how much money's tucked in from 1 month until the next month, each month during our committee member meeting.
I'll second that. Nancy Brown.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for Benny to use that program and write a report and give everybody a report on a monthly basis.
What landfill and how much money?
Okay, at the landfill and how much money out of that report. So, okay, so we'll call the roll. Gary Bailey, I'm a yes. Mark Blevins,
Yes.
Layla Ward,
Yes.
Nancy Brown,
Yes.
Jerry Prophet isn't here. Mark Tester,
Yes.
Kelly Collins,
Yes.
and Sanjay Kohler.
Dr. Sean Conley.
I didn't hear.
I think you're muted, Sonja.
Yep.
Well, that's unusual. Yes.
And Miss Kohler, I would like to apologize to you the other day when I called you. I had so much going on at the school that I called you Sonja Miller. And honestly, in my mind, it was just a rough day. So
Oh,
I
that's
do.
no problem. It didn't bother me a bit.
Everybody's trying to keep up with everybody. Okay. Again, I'd like to welcome on this committee, Miss Collins and Mr. Tester. They're the new members on here. I'd like to welcome them, same as Ms. Kohler did. So if that's the end of new business, unless anybody's got anything else, we'll go to the director's report.
Guys, the only thing I have this month is just, we've had lots of cardboard coming in and the trash at the landfill is also still picking up. I don't know where it's coming from, but it's coming in, so.
Anything from commissioners, commissioner comments?
Gary, just want to remind you that on the 19th, you'll need to meet with Benny and sign his timesheet. That's every 2 weeks, you have to sign his timesheet.
Every 2 weeks?
Every 2 weeks. Has to be
Okay,
signed before it's turned in. You can sign it if you and Benny can get together on Friday evening or Monday morning.
okay, all right. Did not know that, but I appreciate you telling me that. Anything else from anybody? Going once. Going twice. All right, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Now we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. I guess Layla's up.
I was trying to get unmuted. Okay, we'll call. I don't really have much on the agenda. I understand that starting next month, Dr. McAbee will be more available to attend the meetings. But we'll go ahead and call the Education Committee to order at 6:30. Did everybody receive the agenda and the minutes I sent out earlier today? Sorry for the tardiness. Do I hear a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion to approve.
And a
Second.
second. All in favor of approving the agenda?
Aye.
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 And we didn't meet in September due to a conflict with the school board workshop. So the last minutes we have to approve are from August. Do I hear a motion to approve the August minutes?
I'll make a motion.
Second the motion.
All in favor of approving the minutes from August 2020?
Aye.
Aye.
I abstain.
I abstain.
Okay, there's no public online. I think we already determined. So we'll just move on down to the election of officers.
I'll make a motion, put Lyle Ward back in as chairman.
I'll second that motion.
Any other nominations?
Motion to cease nominations.
Thank you. What about vice chair?
I vote
I'm
Kelly
sorry.
Collins.
All in favor of ceasing nominations and appointing by acclamation?
Aye.
Thank you. Any nominations for vice chair?
Kelly Collins.
I'll second. If we need one.
Motion to cease nomination, put in by acclamation.
All in favor to cease nominations and appoint Ms. Collins by acclamation?
Aye.
Thank you, I think.
Do we need a secretary? What about, who wants to?
I nominate Mark Tester to be the secretary. Ain't pretty, but you'll do.
Oh,
I second that.
thank you, Nancy.
You're welcome.
Are you second the not pretty part or what?
No, no.
Is there a? Go ahead, Mark.
Motion to cease nomination and put in
Mark Tester.
Mark Tester. By acclamation.
All in favor of ceasing nominations and appointing Mr. Tester by acclamation, say aye.
We should have put Gary in.
Congratulations, Mr. Tester.
Thank you, Miss Layla.
Okay, and under new business, there's been some discussion about the governor's money for the COVID and some uses for the schools with that.
Miss Layla, I talked to Mr. McAbee today, if I can take a minute to talk to this committee.
Go ahead.
He wasn't aware that basically when he came in that this money was there, and I think he's figured it out. And, you know, when Kevin was here, basically, you know, there was a lot of strings attached to it, and where they took the strings off, the education, as far as the schools, they're trying to get some of them really fixed and nice, and the guys, there's some things they're trying to do, and they said maintenance don't have the money. Even though they've got the 0.5 sales tax, it's just by the time you put a roof on and the windows and everything, they've got about 4 parking lots that basically I've talked to maintenance and McAbee. Out of that governor's money, they're asking for us if we would help them out with $125,000. They got 5 parking lots that they're wanting to really fix and clean up and get the schools together. The problem is if we give this to the schools, well, the city comes involved. And it's nothing wrong with really anything with the city here and there. It's just the fact that basically it's the county government. So they're wondering if we could get $125,000 and give it to Roger and let him pave. There's 4 or 5 parking lots. It's Happy Valley Middle, Happy Valley High, Hunter Elementary, Unaka High School, and Hampton High School. It's their back parking lots. That's Roger apparently gets asphalt where he buys it so much cheaper, and basically he can put down about 4 times the amount as anybody else for the same price. So the schools is wondering if they, like I said, if they could get $125,000 basically put into a line item in the highway department for them to fix some of the parking lots. So if it would, I'd like to make a motion that we send this to budget and see even if it's an option. So
I'll second that motion.
Question.
Yes, ma'am.
What happened to Cloudland's parking lots?
They had theirs paved last year, front and back.
Okay, so they're good.
Yes.
And
It's
they
just
didn't ask for anything there? I mean, nothing questionable?
It basically, when maintenance hit me with this and we talked about it, they said that basically, they know that sooner or later consolidation, people's gonna have to really look at it. Every one of these schools are schools that if there was to ever be any, would not be on the cut list. So they basically, most of them are the high schools, but Cloudland last year, they put like $380,000 and redone Cloudland's back parking lot. So that's why it's not in there. But Happy Valley Middle and Happy Valley High is plumb, it's horrible. And Walsh told me, he said, Gary, I can't pay for heat and air, plus the roof and the windows. He said, if you can help us with that, that'll at least get that part fixed, and they're willing to put some of their own money in it. So I told him I'd bring it to you once, and if budget and the full commission feels that that's a good move. But I mean, I think out of that whole 1.2 or 3 million out of the governors, they've asked for $125,000 out of the whole thing. I think that's a very small price to get 4 or 5 of our parking lots fixed. And Unaka High School, I'm just gonna be honest with you, coming down that backside has never been paved. It's still gravels.
Has,
It's got ruts in it. So I think they're trying to fix some of them and make them look pretty nice.
question, has anybody talked to Josh to find out if we can do this? I mean, by giving it to Roger and doing it this route?
They've done this before. I mean, we give it to them before, with money before. The schools give it to them and they pay for it, because honestly, they've sent out bids, I don't know how many times. And the highway department usually pays it because nobody else can touch the price for some reason.
Well, I'm all for that, but I just want to make sure that we can do it and it be okay with the grant.
Okay, then I tell you what, Layla, I guess since this is educational, is that right? If that we basically sent the budget, if Josh says this is okay?
Yeah, if Josh says, it'll qualify and it's okay, then yeah, I'll pass it to the budget committee.
Okay.
Well, then that's my motion. If I'm just asking for the schools, because Maccabee basically, he couldn't be here tonight and he was wanting to be here. So he said he is going to start joining in on some of these to get to know everybody. So
I still second the motion.
Okay, the motion is to request $125,000 from the governor's money to purchase asphalt to be used to pave Happy Valley Middle, Happy Valley High School. Was it Hampton?
it is Hunter Elementary, Unaka, yeah, Hunter Elementary. It's where they tore those modular things out in the back. It's pretty bad.
And
There's just
Unaka High
gravels in it.
School.
And
Okay,
Unaka
I
High
missed
School
one
and
of the
Hampton High.
schools.
Yeah, there's actually 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4, possibly 5, 4 for sure. And that would let them get with Roger and get a permanent price, but they said they didn't need no more than that.
Okay. So it's Happy Valley Middle School, Happy Valley High School, Hunter Elementary School, and Unaka High School, and possibly Hampton.
Hampton High. And I think
Okay.
that's depending on how much money, how much this comes back from Roger to how much the school said that. I think they're gonna try to look at some from their money they had out of maintenance that was left or something. I don't know. I just know that was the biggest things they were trying to get fixed.
Okay, and that'll be enough. We shouldn't wait until they know a exact number.
No, it should have been.
I mean, if they need 140, they're just gonna have to come up with the difference. If they need 150, they're gonna have to come up with the difference. I
Okay.
know this is what they've asked for.
Perfect. All in favor?
Ah,
Uh,
Any opposed? Okay, the motion passes. I'll look into it. Is there any other new business for education? Okay, if not, that's all I have.
motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor of adjourning the education committee?
Ah,
uh.
All right, that's it. Thank you.
thank you.